Yeah, you saw this. Did I send it here? Okay, everybody got it? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Where were we? Okay, the actual project. No. Let me close this. And now let me create a new folder. This time it's Express folder. That's what I want. Now let's try to remember. More difficult to remember stuff when you had a lot of food. cd dot dot cd express. So I'm on express folder. What do I do first? So first step is, what do I want to use? Express. And I want to use what do I want to use? Generator. And this is where Express generator. Now, when you use Express, I mean, if you want to sit in like next week's UI class, you can see how to do step by step. But just to avoid all the steps of our Express, like, I have that document, which was this one, right? Where I initially start, like in the class, what I do is I first start with the Express, how to create Express, how to require Express, dependencies, whatever we did. And then we add the files, we add the folders, everything one at a time. Okay, but Express generator, what it does is it will do all these steps for you and will give you all the folders, all the basic stuff that you need. And Express also uses a templating engine. Now, templating engine is more like, okay, let me talk about templating engine. For example, let's say I go to cars.com. In here, if I search for a particular car, I will probably see a bunch of cars based on my search query that I added, right? Now, this is a HTML page that someone built, right, which was empty. Like, it has a top, header, footer, side, left, right, everything. And everything that is populated inside here is a template, right? And they've added, inserted data at different places. So you can use these templating engines to kind of add templates to it. There are two types of templates which are very popular with Express. One is one is EJS templating engine. The second one is Jade. What they do is you can write. Let me show you how does EJS template look like. It looks like this. If you're familiar with PHP, maybe it looks similar in other programming languages. There's some or other way where you keep on writing HTML, and inside that you add some special tags, which will be where it will replace with the actual data that comes out. Okay, so you can write JavaScript in there, and it will get an array or whatever the details is and insert items inside there. This is how EJS template look like. Date template, which is default in where is it called? What is it called? Jade is default in Express generator. Jade looks a little different. No, not this. Let me just do. Maybe someone has a better example. I'm trying to see the template examples. If you see here, Jade template is more of, it kind of makes sure that you write better HTML. I've seen a lot of your codes. Okay, what do? You are very bad with indenting, right? You don't indent properly. There's like, for loop and next line is on the left side instead of a little bit right tab. So this is based on, just makes sure that you add proper, what is it called? You add proper syntax to it. So when you say doc tab HTML, it will convert into this HTML, and you tab and add head inside. So it will make sure that head is inside HTML, and it will close head before it adds body because it's tabbed properly. If I mess it up, something like this, see what will happen is head will close here and then title will. This is wrong. right? So that's why this tabbing kind of helps it understand, create the final HTML output properly. So that's Jade. So Jade and EJS are the two popular one. My favorite is EJS. Now when I create a, okay, first of all, to install Jade, or sorry, install Express Generator on your in your computer, you'll have to add something like this. But this is for Mac. I mean, you can just use this in Windows. In npm install. Minus G is for install it globally, so the entire computer has it. And what am I installing? Express Generator. That's what I'm saying. So once I do that, it will ask me for my password, and it will install Express. I already have Express Generator installed, but if there's an update, or it might just replace my previous version of it. So that's what it did here. Now to create a project, you just have to give, say, Express and name of the project that you're doing. So I can just say Express. What is the name of a project?
Labor Day.
Or Labor Day,
Yeah.
or let's call it pick M. Let's call that pick M. I can, if I do this, I will get Jade template. If I want EJS template, I'll have to say minus E, which means I want what template? EJS template. Run this, it will create my project. Now, if you look at it, let me just open this folder. So if you see here, it created this folder, and it has all these files inside. Let's look at what all files we have. So package.json, name, version, private is true, is private, my own. If you want to make it available for everyone and add it somewhere, you can say false. Scripts, what scripts it has? It has a particular script where it will run before running the project first time, more like configuration file. Dependencies, you see it has all these dependencies already added. One of them is EJS, because I said I want EJS. Express is there because I want Express. But if you see, there's no node modules in here, right? Because these are the dependencies. Where are the modules? When you create a project, it will not install the modules. You'll have to go inside and say npm install. That's when it will add the module. It creates a views folder where it says this is where all your templates go for different things. It also adds, I mean, these are some basic, I mean, they have added some placeholders, just because every template or generator comes with some basic files automatically. You can modify them, change them. Public is our, that serve static file here. You can add your JavaScripts here, images here, all this stuff. So it gives you a container where you can add all the stuff. This is that www folder, which will actually say which port I'm using. This is more like a configuration file that they've added. So you don't have to do that. And what is the uh, entry point? It doesn't have that index.js, but what it does is in here, probably somewhere here, it says that app is the starting point of this particular project, and you see that app.js file here. So every time it gets a request, this is the file it will start with. And if you see, it has a lot of code already added here. Initially, all the imports for different modules. Then this is where it starts, the same as connect. It just says express. That's it. Is use. So if you see, the first thing that makes sense is this one, use slash. That means every time user goes to localhost 3000, it will try to I mean, if the path is this, it will go to this particular file, which is the file for this one, routes index. So it will go to routes index.js. This is the file, and depending on what the request is, it will render a file. When it says render, it's going to look for index.ejs file, which is here. So it's going to render this file. Other than that, what does it do? You see, it says render this file, render this template file. Okay, render this index.ejs file, and I am passing an argument. So it passes a JSON saying title is express. So when it passes it to this file, it's going to replace anything that is inside this special characters with that particular value. So in this case, it will put title in here. So it will say welcome to express. Express is the title. Okay, that's what it will do. So that's what happens when you do and run the server and say localhost. If I say /users, what will it do? It will look for, which one is it? Users.js. What will it do? respond with the resource. It will just type print this, respond with the resource. I mean, you can add whatever code you want. This is templating, basic stuff that they've added. I don't want this file. I can delete this file, but you have to make sure when you delete this, it's not using any template, right? Right now, it's not saying render, so it's not going to use anything. But in here, I don't want this. What else here? I don't want this. Get rid of. It has 404, page not found, environment setup, development. It has something else here, which other request response, no stack traces leaked to user. So I guess something doesn't happen, some error happens, so it will go in here. So anyways, all we care about is this here. As soon as user enters localhost, it will go to this particular page. So let's save it, save everything that we have modified. What happened to users? How did it come back? Delete file. Okay, God, now it will not come back. Okay, let's close everything. And I've not done any changes. Only change I did was remove the users part. So I'm going to go back to my file here, and I'm going to change. Now what am I going to do? Okay, which folder am I in? The Express folder. I'm going to go inside the project folder. This folder has my package.json file, right? So I want to install all the dependencies first, because without that the project will not work. If I run this now, I'll see a lot of errors. So I'm going to say npm install. I'm going to install like Express, body parser, all these different modules that are available. Okay, so everything installed. Once everything is there, what will I do? I need to run the project, right? If you see here, when I created the project, it showed me, you can just say npm start, or you can also give debug pickm npm start. What this does is, it will actually run it in a debug mode. So you can see more error messages and all that stuff. If you just say npm start, it will not give that many debug messages. That's how they configure it. So I'm going to run it something else. Okay, I'm saying running your server on localhost 3000. Go here, localhost 3000. There you go. So what it did was, it went to app.js. Okay, it saw that, oh, user is looking for slash, and routes is provided by. So if you see, I mean, I could have added all that code inside here, whatever is inside this index.js file. I could have added this directly in here. I could have said function, request, response, everything here, but they want to make it more modular. So you can write less code in the app.js file. Think about it. You have hundreds of pages and you keep on adding all the functions inside here, it will have millions of lines of code, which is bad. So that's why they try to separate it out whenever possible. So this went here. It looked at index.js file. Index.js file said, I want to render index and I want to give the title this, and it passed the title to this guy. And this title was passed to this file. And this is what was printed out. Why is it having all these styles and stuff? If you see here, the style sheets, styles.css. If I remove this, styles are gone. There's already a styles file added here for you. So it's up to you. If you want to use the styles file, use the styles file. If you want to delete it, depending on what you want to do. I can include the styles file and say, no, I don't want any styles added. I want empty. So that's what something that I can add. So first step, that's done. Okay, so we have a server running. We have something working right now, but I don't want to see Express. Right? We want our actual project being developed here. I can use, in this case, I use Bootstrap to kind of make sure it's more responsive, and and eventually we would want to run it on mobile phones and stuff, right? So, and what does Bootstrap do? Bootstrap is a library which will make your website responsive, which will work on all the different websites. So it has a lot of different classes, everything added for you. So this is one of the things that UI people use quite a lot to make their website responsive, or you can write it in your own way, but that will take a lot of time. It gives you a lot of cool features. Like if you go inside here, it will give you something called as grid system, which will make sure when to collapse a particular element or when to keep it full screen. It has a lot of components, it has special icons, It has these things. You can just look at the list. There's a lot of things that you can actually do with all the elements that Bootstrap does. So Bootstrap is a place which will give you a lot of built-in functionality that you would need for a mobile website, which is commonly followed in today's world, whatever they do. Like, yesterday when we built that, I mean, some of you guys were here and we created, let's not go to that website. Aradhana might get happy. Run for president, remember? What? So you see, this website was built using Bootstrap. So you see, it's more responsive. It has special buttons, and I had to write like very minimum code to do this. So you don't have to worry about styling. All you have to worry about is functionality. And as a developer, that's what you should be doing most of the times. You don't worry about the design and all this stuff. That should already be taken care of. All you have to worry about is the logic part. So now, going back here, should I use Bootstrap or should I not? I should. Okay. Let's get rid of this is our first page, or I should call it a login page maybe. Okay, so every time user comes in first, I'm trying to see if I should, how do I know if a user is logged in or not? Any ideas? Let's go back to design. How do I know if a user is logged in or not? How do I know who the user is, first of all? Let's say that. How do you know who the user is? We'll do some cheating here, okay, but how do you know who the user is? Based on his email ID, team name, email ID, these are things. Now, when I go to a website like Amazon, says hello Vivian, right? How does it know? Does it keep me logged in? If you come to my computer and they say I want to buy this book, okay, buy. I don't want to do one click. I'm not sure when did I last log in. Let's say I want to buy this, whatever this is. Add to cart, add, proceed, checkout. Oh, there you go. It asks me username, password. I mean, in my computer, you can just say sign in and then go ahead. But maybe it might ask you for credit card, CVV number, or something like that, which you might not have. But still, okay. So you have to go through the login phase some time or other, right? If you logged in just now and after 5 minutes I try to access it, maybe I'm still logged in, right? So what they do is they create something called a session, right? They keep a session on. Now this session is created using a bunch of different things. I mean, even it's common. This idea is common for everyone. Mobile apps, websites, everything uses the same thing. So they create a session. Now, how do you create a session? Now, if you're a very crappy developer, okay, you don't know anything, you'll probably save user's email address or their ID locally, saying, yeah, he's logged in. Yes, he's logged in. And every time he goes to buy something, you take the variable and say, oh, log in this user. Done. Okay, he's logged in. I see his email address, something like that. But most of the time, what happens is every time you enter your username password anywhere on a website, it will send your username password to the server, okay, right, to authentication. That's what you will do. You'll authenticate first time, and when it comes back, it will say success or failure, right? And then you're saying, oh, it's successful. Let's save the username's username and his password and save it locally somewhere in a cookie or in a session or something. And then next time when he's going somewhere else, other page, and he wants to buy something, let's use that username password and then go to the server, send in that username password and authenticate again. So what you're doing is you're authenticating again and again and again every single time user accesses the web page, which is a bad thing. Okay, one more thing, wire. Let me make sure you understand the term wire. Okay, so let's say I am the client and he's the server. Okay, both client server, and I am sending a request to him. I'm sending a request on the wire. That's a wire. So communication line is the wire. So if you keep on sending users username password again and again every single time he's logging in, he's buying something, he's doing something, so that means your website is not safe. Why? Because if someone is listening on the wire, okay, I mean, there are so many tools available in market right now. Wireshark is one of them. If I run it on my computer, okay, and I'm listening to the router, that we have here, I can get all your information. Whatever you are doing, where you're doing, what particular thing you're doing, who the person is, I can get all the information. Okay, it's that easy. Okay, so if someone is listening on that particular wire and he can see the username, I mean, he might get username, I mean, you might encrypt the username and password, so nobody can actually understand what you're trying to do. But if he sees that again and again, he probably thinks, so probably these are some very important terms, let's try to decrypt it. And if they are able to decrypt it, they have your username and password, right? That's how things used to get hacked back in the days. Okay, like people used to get your accounts and information and stuff because of that. So what they did after that was they came out with something called as a token. What happens is every time I am logging in, like let's say I log into the screen, it will go to the server and it will authenticate the user first, and username and password, and then the server will generate a unique ID or a token, 16 characters, or depending on how much of bigger of a token they want to make. Usually it's 16 characters. They'll make a unique token for that particular login and send back the token, and you save the token locally. And it has expiry time. Okay, maybe after 5 minutes it expires. Okay, so now next time I'm saying, okay, I want to buy this, and it's going to say, oh, this user wants to buy this and his token ID is this much, and it's going to pass the item that he wants to buy and the token. Okay, now with token, nobody can get your username and password. They can just get the token, but not username and password. Right now, because I'm communicating on the wire using that token, so it's more safe, more secure. So let's say the token was saved here, like it's maybe in the local storage or somewhere else it's saved. So once I have that, what is it, application? I guess they still use cookies. So if you see here, there are a bunch of different things: session ID, session ID time, session token. You see something like that. So this, now I am not logged in. What is this session token? This is a session token which says that this is a user Vivian Arana. Okay, so it recognizes me, who I am, but this token will not let me do some things. So that Amazon probably uses two different types of token. One is user is there, but I'm not sure if it's the same user. Okay, so that's one. But once I log in, this token might change and it will be totally different. And that token will let me, it's like two different access key cards. You can think of it that way. So that's what that is. So now that's how mostly systems work. They have this session token and they communicate using that session token. And after some time, like sometimes what happens is you are logged in your Gmail in bunch of different devices. If you're logged in Netflix in bunch of different devices, the server knows that how many places you're logged in. Somewhere and say log out of all the devices. What it does is on the server side, it will expire all the tokens that are there. So somewhere else, he's trying to do something with a token. It will go to the server and say, oh, this token is expired. So that person has to log in again. So that's how they manage all these things. So what we will be doing is we'll be not doing this complicated stuff. We'll be that shady developer first one, because we don't have any special, someone might come, if someone gets my computer, they can probably make pics for me, but I don't care about that. So what I'm going to do in our case is, once user logs in, I'm going to take his email ID and save it in local storage, and then I'm going to use that to communicate from now onwards. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that will be my special email ID. Okay, so going forward, what did I say we will do first? I will first try to do the login screen. Let's try to do the login screen. Okay, please don't sleep, or I can play a movie. What? What? What is it? Oh, ugly. Music, no. People might sleep listening to that. Maybe metal. So, no. That means you guys are sleepy. You are the only two guys who spoke, and you are the only two guys who are with me. I'm gonna keep it like more, what is it called, interactive. So you guys tell me what to do. So what should I do next? How do I make my login screen?
Get the login form.
Yep, I am too lazy. right? I'm not going to go and create input field, this field, that field. So Bootstrap has also created a bunch of different. There you go. See this page? It has a sign-in page. It's completely responsive. I'm more than happy with this. View page source, copy, paste. Let's see. A lot of code added here. Let's see. What did we add? Viewport. What is the description? Author, icon. Who cares about all this stuff? Sign-in template. What is this? Oh, Bootstrap. It's taking it from a local directory. I don't want it from local directory. What I can do is, okay, I have a lot of pages open here. This I need. This I don't need. This I don't need. I think this I don't need. No. Chase, jQuery, new empty, couldn't find page, Express, meme, cars.com, Jade, Express, Bootstrap is what I'm going to look at. Some stuff here. So getting started, see Bootstrap has something called as a starting template, basic template. Okay, but this is a little more than basic template because it has, other than basic template, the login form here. Okay, so I'm going to, but I don't have this CSS local file, styles file here. So what I can do is I can download that file and then use it, or use something called as a CDN, which is Content Delivery Network, where they have hosted the CSS file. So I'm going to use this CSS file instead of this. This is Bootstrap's core CSS file. This one says I10 viewport hack. Who cares about I? Right? Nobody cares. I mean, you might. Do you care about I, Aradhana?
Oh, yes.
Of course, they do. Signin.css file. Now this is, where is that login gone? So this guy probably has a signin.css. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to create my new file, signin.css. See, I'm going to put it at a proper place, wherever the templates, wherever it likes it, it's inside here. And I can just go and add, how do I get style sheet? And it's inside style sheets. So it's inside public folder. Public folder is the root folder. So slash style sheets slash signin.css. That's where I. How did I get this path? If you see here, you can just look at the basic template in the start slash style sheet slash. Okay, so same thing I gave. Okay, forgot the slash. I said slash, but I didn't add slash. Style sheet slash signin.css. So that's where I'm getting my sign in from. So that's perfect. What is this? Warning. Do I need this? Just for debugging purpose, don't actually copy these two lines. Okay. If it says so. Then there is this file which is hosted somewhere else. I don't care about it. This is for IE8 support. You can add them, remove them, up to you. I'll leave it as it is. What it does is it checks if if it's less than IE9, so IE8 or something. So some of the styles, these guys have created some JavaScript files which will actually support older styles and stuff, and make sure IE8 will look somewhat better than what it should. So all the errors will go away in IE8. So body container form sign in, please sign in, input email address, password, remember me box. I don't care about remember me box. I'm gonna get rid of this because I will remember the user anyways. So sign in. Let's see. I saved all this stuff. Cancel. Let's see if it works. Localhost 3000. Okay, better. It also remembers my username password. Why? Because I have done this before so many times. So I has like one time probably it's asked me to save, and I saved probably. It will not work for our system because it doesn't go anywhere. Right? I've not added any code to go anywhere. So that's the first part. How does this my screen look based on our design? So you got this design and you built this design. You'll be fired. right? Why? No register button in here. You only have sign in button, no register button. So I can add, what do I do? No add a button, copy paste. Come on. Okay. What did I mess up? Sign in. Register. No. Why? Maybe different type. Primary info. Looks a little ugly as compared to that. How about success? Green. Right? So it's like, according to UI rules, it's completely not acceptable to create a green button when this page is sign in. Maybe sign in should be green, this should be blue. So I can probably okay, better. So I can sign in and then so it kind of gives you, like, colors are very important in UI UX design. You'll probably understand when you get in a job. They are very important. It gives an user an idea. Someone who's not technical. Okay, you're technical. You might see your sign in and register. Difference between them. But when you're, what is the main purpose of this page? Is sign in. Whenever someone sells a product, they want to sell something that people will actually, there might be two people, okay, trying to sell the same product, but there is a, like, one person doesn't even know how to talk, the other person knows how to talk. There's more chances that you'll buy a product from the person who knows how to talk, right? So that's what is very important in this particular page. So, or every single page that you do, it says please sign in or register. Buttons are too big, but it's okay. I think it's not 100%. This is 100%. Okay. I have my email password. Looks fine here. Now what? What should I do next? Will the sign in work? No, why not? Oh, we didn't have any database or anything where to check for, right? The backend has to provide something to sign in. But can I, if I create a database and add some values, probably I'll be able to check for it and then do it. But it is better probably to do it from register. So I can insert values inside the database and get stuff. So it's better for me to first do the register. But as soon as I click on register, it says invalid form because type is submit. So it's trying to submit this particular form. Both of them are trying to do the same thing. What should I do type then?
You could do like
What if I remove the type for both of them?
you do like on click.
What will happen in this case? Oh man, go away. Still the same problem, right? Why? Because this button is inside the form, right? So that's why it's causing the problem. But what happens if I remove it outside? What happened? Design, right? So then that means I'll have to add some more styles to that button. So I do some more work, and I'm not the type of person who likes to do a lot of work. So this is what I like, but I don't want anything to happen when the user clicks on those buttons. So time for some JavaScript. Oh wait, what is this here at the bottom? I10 workaround again.
I think IE10 is like the last one.
Okay, what are we missing here? Oh man, Ankit is gonna continue from now onwards, or it's gonna make me look really dumb right now. Ankit, master of mean stack. Okay, so one thing I forgot is probably should add this to Bootstrap JavaScript file just in case we want to use some Bootstrap files. We also need one more thing, jQuery, because we'll be using jQuery library quite a lot. Is this jQuery? Is it? Before this one? Here?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. That's very bad practice.
No, head, you can add the libraries in head. You write the code in the head.
What? Yeah, libraries in the head. I don't like to do libraries in the head. Why would I add libraries?
I think the only way you can add them at the top is if you add the async or deeper tag. Like if not, you should put them at the bottom.
Yeah, that's the right thing. Because why? Like, let's say without adding that tag, why should we add it on the? Yeah, it's going to call first, so it's going to take some time to load the page. So, anyways, we don't have much in the page, so it doesn't matter. But still, good. Keep the good practice right from day one. So I have this script, both of them. Now, when I click on this button, nothing should happen. So I need my JavaScript files. Let's go here, create a new file, call it. Should I call login script? Should I create different? So I'm creating everything that is client side goes inside this public folder. Everything that is server side will go inside app.js routes. That's where it will go. Okay, so whatever I'm doing right now is all client side. Why am I writing it in client side? Because when user clicks on this register button, I don't want it to do anything right now.
So quick question. So if you following the MVC route, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So through your app.js, you like call all the different controllers, and then like have controllers in each of the functions.
So for right now in the node, this is the where is it? This is index.js is the controller. So if you see in app.js, when I'm saying that use this routes for my index, what I'm doing is I'm saying that this is the controller that I'm using here for this particular part. That's what I'm doing. You're saying Angular, but I mean when you say MVC and all that stuff, I feel like when you say controller, I feel like you're talking Angular JS language, but that's what Node is. For Node in this, I'm saying that this is a controller inside this. So that's what I'm specifying. So yeah, we're going to add all the different routes that we have here and then keep on accessing them. Okay, so now what? Okay, yeah, we had to do that. So every time I click on, which button am I clicking on? Sign in or register. I want it to do nothing. All right, let's give them some ID. Sign in. ID. What should I give? Register. Give sign in register button. Okay, and now inside my script dollar, and I hit typing. I hope I'm not doing anything wrong. Button dot. Actually, why am I doing this? Dot click. Okay. Default function, right?
Yeah.
I hope so. I don't know if this will work because usually what I do is I add the on the form submit.
Are you doing it for both register and sign in?
Yeah.
Why not just create one
For the form, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that will work. But I want to see if this works. Don't do whatever you usually do, but let's see if it actually works. No, it doesn't work. I'm gonna do is go back to my EJS file, ID equal to login form, and here login form dot submit prevent default. So what it's trying to do in this particular form is as soon as I press these buttons, any of these buttons, it will try to submit the form. So whatever the values are, it'll try to submit it. And I don't want it to do that. So that's why now when I say it will work, still went through. Form, login form.
Where are you calling
Oh yeah, you know why? Yeah.
Where are you calling it about?
Yeah, I'm not calling it. That's why. Because this login code that I've added here, I have not included this login.js file anywhere. Of course, it will not work. Go down here, script, src, That is my slash javascripts slash login.js. Try one more time. Still submitting? No, it's not submitting. It's not submitting, it's just validating the form when I click on that. So to not validate it, what will I do? What was it? Do not. There is a no. There is like one attribute that form has that don't do the basic validation. You know, disable form validation. Forgot the term.
I
HTML5.
think you would add attribute.
No validate. I think it's no. Yeah, no validate. In the form, you just say no validate. That's what I would miss. Let's try. Sign in. Yeah, nothing is. It will not even validate anymore because HTML5 has this automatic form validation. If you tell that something is email address, is type email, type password, it will try to validate it for you. You don't have to add the validation form, but nobody uses that. The crappy validation. It might work for, So I'll show you some problems with that. So this is a proper email. Sign in. It says please fill out this form. Sign in at the rate. Sign in. Now it works. It thinks that this is the right email, which is not a valid email. So I don't like the validation anyways. So I have that working. Now what? A register form. Should we create a register form? Register page. Views. Probably I copy the same page. Create another one. Call it register.ejs. There you go. Okay, so this is what register page. I want everything to be same except for sign in button is gone. I have email, password. What do I have according to our design in register? Mail, password, and team name. So I need one more label in team name, type equal to text placeholder team name. Which one? I can say sign up or register. No, not here. Okay. Now, okay. So this will. I want to see this page. Right. Whenever user clicks on register, so that means now to go back to the backend server side. Because server side right now knows about only one page. Where is that app.js file? This one. I'm going to close some of the files. We'll open them only when we need it. So my app.js has only one particular file. What I want is I want another file here. Let's say register. And this will go to my register variable, which is the namespace, same space. Okay. Require routes register. So this will go and try to look for inside routes. Is there a register.js? No file. What will happen? Error. Let's close it. Create a new file.
You created the default redirect.
One.
So the default redirect if these have applications.
It doesn't exist. Then we have that already here, right below. So if it's 404, yeah. Yeah, you can go to like home page or something like that in this particular case, whenever you don't have anything. So let's go here. This will open which one? Register. Right, so I'm gonna say register. I don't care about any parameters because my EJS file doesn't have anything right now. I can either give it empty. I think I can get rid of this too. I'm not sure. Let's see. Register. So that's my register.js. I hope I did everything, but I'll have to go back here, restart my server because I changed something in app.js file. Change the server code.
Oh, I can add something here. There's a
There's a library which actually keeps a track of all the changes and then automatically updates. I have. Which one is what is it
it's
called?
called Node.
Oh, Node debug. So Node dev.
NODEMON. I just installed it globally, and instead of using a Node like app.js, I use
Again,
Node.
that's fine. We'll restart it. So slash, what is it? Register. Okay, if you see that team name came up, doesn't look right because I copy pasted. So let's go and look at what did I mess up here. Please sign in. Okay, this looks.
So what is it? The ID you have registered for that.
Where?
See, ID is the code to register people.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't. I don't care about the. No, look the.
Oh, it's just.
Yeah, what is causing that problem? Why is it so far away? Wait, let me see. Bootstrap also has a register page.
Maybe because of the it is sign-in form, and then it only accepts username and password, I guess.
No, that's. But like there's nothing called as. They have done some style changes somewhere. There's nothing called as just username and password kind of field. So they have done something here, and I've removed the styles page.
That's because.
So something is. I mean, if I put this here, so look at this. If I remove this team name, you know, but still, you see how they are combined together. There's usually a group or something that they add. That's what I'm looking for. So there's still spacing here.
I think it's a label.
That's what I'm trying to see. I mean, I don't see any form group here. Okay, let me add a form group myself. I have all the code. Whatever you need. Form group. The group. Let me try. Let's see what happens. Div form group slash div. To just add a space. I want something like this, so it starts nicely. You see what I mean? I don't know if you can see it now. Probably you can see it. You see how it curves here? Whereas this is like one single box. That's what I want. Let's see, where is my... What if I disrupt these two guys? Yeah, see how it has the bottom part. So they have some styles to these. ID, class, form, control, placeholder. Separate them out and see what is so different in... Unless, oh yeah, I know what is the problem. You know what is the problem? Remember the signin.css? Probably this one has something inside it, which is actually causing those.
Oh,
Yeah, right radius 0, left radius 0 for input type email, input type password. So yeah. Let's go back and put it where we want it. Yes, and now we want to make it fix this stuff. So this password field is there's no border radius for password. So I want password field margin bottom. Maybe make it same thing as before, -1 pixel. So as soon as I do this, this is attached. Now I'll fix this top part for the password first. Uh, Right and left also I want. It up. Now this team should have.
We need to do a.
Wait 1 second. Hold on.
So that would be.
What useless?
No, you. Well, no, this
One single step.
cover the
Yeah, the other way. Did I remove the wrong one? Yeah, there you go. Better. Better. Looks nicer. I mean, they look yellow because there. Better. Everybody happy with this?
How about the login page?
Which one?
Login page.
Oh man, you had to remind me of that. That's all messed up. Okay. So I probably have to give them different names now. Why? Why? Why would you do such a thing? Okay, so form sign in. Okay, so whatever was there before, it might get rid of the rest of the styles. Or I can give like the same class or something. Let's see, where do I go now? EJS. Yeah, this will cause some more problems to my register page. Okay, there you go. All messed up now. Because I removed the form sign in. Let's see what else. What other styles does this sign in page have? Z index. Okay, I can just do, since other stuff stays same.
You can just rename the
Comma, right? That's form sign in. So do I have to do? There's no checkbox, but I'll have to do it for this guy.
I can just give the ID of
ID.
each field for this.
Either you have to do, I mean, give a separate class for each of them, or do some ID. No, but again, you'll have to give styles for each and every one. That was checkbox. I don't care about that.
So for register.
Can this? Okay, good. Hopefully. Okay, let's say please sign in. Instead of that, we'll call it register. Working fine. This one still fine. Everything is good. So we'll sign in and we register. What happens when I click on this register button? It should go to the register page. How do I make that happen? Any UI people here?
Well, the login country. So you can do either like on click to the video function or you have.
I don't like on clicks. You know
You
that.
can register in the JS file.
In the JS file?
Yeah.
Which one?
Login.
Index? This one or this one? This one? Dot click? What is that function? What should happen when you click on that button? Window dot open. Location maybe. What is there should be a better way in jQuery. There's a better way in jQuery. jQuery. Open URL. Which one? Yeah, not redirect, but go to a particular URL. Ah, man, come on, this should be better than jQuery. No, I don't want that. I want. Okay, I guess no option.
I mean, I think that's similar to Angular's location replacing.
Yeah. href equal to slash register. Let's see. Okay, works. What if I go back to login now?
You have to have.
Back button?
Oh, after you sign up, though, it should take you directly to the login page again, right?
No, it should not. Once you sign up, it should.
You should switch though.
Well, yeah, but I don't want them to log in. I just want them logged in. Once they sign up, why do you want them to log in again?
Security.
Why they just enter their own
You
password?
still have to. You can't take that.
But they just enter their password.
Security.
Doesn't make sense. I still don't understand why do they make you do that.
Well, somebody else might be using their computer and just going.
Yeah, but that
What
person just registered
No,
for
but
you,
they went to the bathroom or something, and the other person came.
and he went to the bathroom. He registered. He went to the bathroom. He didn't log in. I have no idea why people do that.
Applications do that, though.
Do they?
Yes, our application doesn't.
Yeah. That's why you're working there. We need to change that idea. I want people to log in as soon as they register. I don't like the idea of asking them, "Oh, you just registered. Oh, let me check. Are you the same person who was there on the previous page?"
Not most applications.
Maybe it's a bank account and the bank administrator registered a customer account and they can only log in from certain
Yeah,
IPs.
seems
So, but it's in the same computer right now, right?
I mean, I know what you mean. They might misuse your email. That's why.
Who they? That's what I'm. No, I'm not, this is my website. I can do whatever I want. I want them to register. I don't want one more. I entered something myself and then I want to log in myself. It's something that in UX is called, kind of presenting a screen which to the user.
Something else that you should have on your login sheet, it should be forgot username, forgot password. You should have that.
No, you were not here.
What?
I'm not doing that. Nobody's gonna forget. If you forget, you register again. That's how our website will be. I mean, those things I don't want to add. I want to focus more on the basic steps. So that's why all these things I'm just gonna skip it. Not a 6-month project. Okay.
So
Okay.
is this project gonna be run on Android and iPhone apps also? Like, are you gonna wrap it around with something?
Yeah. At the end of the day.
And it's by Monday you're gonna do something?
Yeah, Monday. And
Plan is to finish.
yeah, by Monday 6 it should be done. Okay. Now everybody understands what we're trying to do. As soon as they register, they are in the system. Okay. That's why I created this thing here. As soon as they register, they go straight to creating a league. Okay. No playing around here.
You spelled league wrong.
What? What?
LEGU.
Oh, it's okay. Here,
Look below.
this. How about this one?
But-
How about this one?
No, that's
How about this one? Okay. That phase is locked down. You can't actually change anything now anymore. Okay. Yeah. So if they forgot, they went to login and like, oh, what is this button? Register. Oh, I want to go back to login. They can just press the back button. Requirement. Okay. What now? Okay, register. Enter my email. Password. Oh man, what is that password? Anyone? Can you guess?
Resell.
Yes, someone got it. Okay. Team name. Okay. So, and then I say sign up. When I say sign up, it went somewhere. Where did it go? Did it register my user? Why did it register my user? I said prevent default.
I don't think you said that for the second one.
Yeah, second one, I changed the name of the. Oh, no, it is login form.
I don't think you included the
I have included the script.
Yeah.
Register button. register button dot click. So what it did was when I clicked on this register button, it reloaded the page. That's what it did. So let's change the name of this button. Sign up button. There you go. Now will it work? Perfect. Doesn't go anywhere. Because the form is.
But should that button be a submit thing?
Wait 1 second. First of all, I'm thinking that this should change to sign up form because it might cause problems in future. And then also do dollar pound sign up form dot submit. See, there's a reason I don't type stuff. I just do copy paste because I'm very bad at typing stuff. If I had copy paste leak properly, Aradhana would have not commented on my. Okay, so I have this sign up form and I can prevent the default from happening, whatever. Now what do I want to do? I want to send these details to my backend, all right? So whatever information is added by here by user. What happens if he enters something like this and he clicks on sign up? What will I do? What? Let him go? Why? Because that's the requirements, right? We don't care about his email if it's valid or not. We're not going to do anything, any checks or any modification. Even if he leaves it empty here, we'll let it go. Okay. So that's our requirement. So, but we'll expect him to enter something very, because we would want to log in again later. Okay. So now sign up. Once he says sign up, I want to send this as data to the backend. Right. So in my login page, when he enters information here, I want to submit, I want to make a what request? Ajax request. Oh, how do we do that? Yeah, I need to post it, but how do I post it? Dollar? Okay, let's just copy paste it. jQuery post. Post method. Oh wait, let's go W3 schools. They have better examples. There you go. I'm trying to remember. I think I'm missing something. Now I have code at some places because we did this for previous classes. But I'm trying to think, am I missing something?
So .ajax the method is post.
No, I can use .post directly.
But it might not be compatible for all.
All the. For all what?
It might not be compatible. Here,
No, I've used this before with Node.
It doesn't. Not all browsers will work.
With $post.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if it works. It works. We'll use it. If it doesn't work, we'll say $post. Where am I posting it to? Slash sign up user, something like that. That's something that I will create in app.js here. There will be. I just copy pasted over my copy paste. Copy. Sign up user, and this will go to sign up. So that's where it will go, and sign up will be another route here. Or should I just write function here? Anyway, let me see. One of the previous code that I wrote. Where did I write this? I'm trying to remember. Which class did I do this before for? Did I do it for some class before? Camera, Dropbox, Remote Tiger, UI, June class. Anyone from June class here? Node, Express, no. Was it complete project, blog? Looks like routes. Where is app.js? I made one project with this before. Yeah, looks like this one is. See, we have something to copy paste from. Let's understand the idea behind this. So public JavaScript scripts.js. So this is get. I'm looking for post. Post, delete post, data what I want to pass forward. So I have data that is coming from the, what is it called, from a form, right? So let's go back here. So I need to do something like this. Let's inside my, where is this register, no, login.js. When, so what all things do I need to pass? What all do I have? User email, user pass, and email. These are three things that I need.
Do you have like a
What are our IDs inside the register EJS file? Email address is input email, input password, and team name, right? So these are three items that I want to pass. I'm going to create a JSON object with user email, user pass, and team name. So key value pair. Okay, this is what I want to post back. So I'm saying that I want to, what was that function that I created? Sign up user. I want to call this sign up user. I want to pass this data back to the page, and I will get a response back. Now, depending on what response I get back, okay, I will do the next steps. For example, what are the different things that can go wrong here? What is the first thing that, let's say, what is the best case scenario? All good. Nothing went wrong. Everything was fine. Okay, what is the second thing that can happen that is wrong? What? I don't care about server. That will go to 404 or to somewhere else, right? Valid is, email is always valid.
Lost connection.
Lost, I no, no. You guys are thinking too much.
We just get an error.
Email already exists. This is what I was going for. Okay. So when you sign, we already have an email. That's what we spoke about in the design phase. The only thing that can go wrong is email already exists. That means he entered space before, and then he entered space again. Okay, or he entered viv24 in at yahoo.com.
Do you have a trip like spaces?
Which one?
Do you have a trip like spaces?
Why?
Trip.
If it's white space, it's another email. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So either email already exists, that is an error. That's the only error that we can get. No other. What?
Don't publish it.
This is nothing what we're doing. You know what we have to do, right? This is a simple login form. We have to make sure people can pick teams. We want them to. Are you okay to stay here for another month? That's, yeah. So let's do very simple basic stuff. And after that, if we have time on Monday, we'll go shopping. Labor Day, come on.
But I just want to see the part where you wrap it around like whatever so it can run in like as an Android or iPhone.
Oh, okay. That's the only thing that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Come on Monday. I can do it today itself at the end of the day. Let's see. Okay, so email already exists or everything is good. So that means when I go to my sign up page here, where is my other project? So when I pass this to, who is it passing to? Add new post. Post is somewhere here. Add new post. Oh, I have written function request response in the same page. Good. Oh yeah, because this is app.post, not app.use. So I'm going to do something similar here. So when I post for sign up user, I'll get a request, right? And inside that request, now this request is a post request to this particular URL. So first it will check, was that use this? No, use this. It was a post request. So it will use and check this one. And if the URL matches, then it will take the content, the data that is there, and give it to it. So, oh, this is much more awesome. I don't want to do all these things right now. What I want to do is actually let's keep some of this stuff. Let's keep this right now. Do we have a database? No. So no matter what happens, everything is success. Yeah. I just want to see does this data come back? Okay, does it call this URL and then does it send back information to my login page and the response is all good. Okay, so I'm going to say alert RESP. So whatever I get back, I'm going to respond it. I'm going to print it out. That's what I'm going to do. So just to see if everything is perfect, because I don't want to add the rest of the stuff and see nothing is working. Sign up. Response, I got an object back. So that means the server was contacted, it got the request, and it sent me back, hey, you're all good. Enjoy. Okay, something like that. So if I actually say here response dot success. Why am I saying response dot success? Because if you see this guy is sending me a JSON success, and what's inside that? Okay, so I guess I can just sign up again. Response, yeah. So that means I am posting to the server. Server got that. I don't know how much it got, but it got something and it's sending me back data. So now is the next part, is database part. Do I have a database where I can save the data that I got? For before that, did we even get the post message, whatever we sent? So if you see here, I can just say request. Now the request that I got from the server with the post, I want to see all the different attributes that I came along with it. Console.log plus what title. So request came with body. Now this body is something that belongs to the body parser. Okay, so it's parsing the data that it got from this page. What did it send? It sent this. This is what it sent to my server, and server got it as body for that particular request. So I'm saying that inside that request body, I have a user email. Can you print it out for me and show me if it's fine? So I'm just going to print one. Rest of the stuff will just assume that is there. Okay, this is on the client side, but on the server side, let's see, where was that console? Perfect. So it did get the post message that I sent, and I can access that. Now, all I have to do is I have to say inside my database, insert into whatever that database table is, user email, this, request.body, user password, this, and team name, this. No encryption, nothing here. Okay. So, how do I create a database? No, nobody knows probably. SQLite database, right? In Node. So, Node. Let's go back to someone dependencies, right? Now SQLite is a library that I want to add, a SQLite JavaScript library that I want to add to this. So I'm going to add the SQLite library. Now I have no idea what is it called, so, but I have done this before. Where was it? Package SQLite 3. That's what it's called. So that's the SQLite 3 library. Now, do I have a database in there on the server? There's probably no database. Like what I would do is, as soon as the application runs first time, when the server is running first time, I'll first check, does the database exist? If the database doesn't exist, I want to create the database. I want to create tables, everything, set it up. If it's already there, I'll just ignore that step. Okay, so that means in app.js, somewhere I'll have to add the database. So where is my, I guess so. Let's see. Where is the DB here? Create SQLite database. Where is this DB coming from? Where is this DB variable defined? If you see here, right here. So this is how you can create. Okay, let's create. Copy these two lines in our project here. So this will get that require and then this database is SQLite3 database and name of your database. What do you want to call this database? Column. That's what we'll call it. So we have the database. Now, when the server loads anywhere on the page, we can actually add this, but I'm going to add it to the bottom. Let's say serialized function create table if not exist, create table if not exist. So it will only work once, it will not do it again and again. So no, what do I want? This one, not you. So I need to create all these tables, right? Oh man, this is difficult. This is too much tidy work. Copy paste, copy paste. Let's go back here. Start from here. Create table if not exists. Clear. Should we do one at a time? So we should see one stuff. Email ID. Is it integer? Email ID? No. Text. Primary key. What does that mean? That means user can't enter space if it's primary key. Auto increment? No, not at all. Right? So I created this as a primary key. So that means I'll have to validate if user entered email or not. But I'm not going to validate. I'll let it crash rather than validate it. Password? Password. Password is already there. Limited team name. Last name? Does it have a last name? There you go. Or should I use the same things? No, if you say. Okay. Better idea, right? We don't have to go back here again and again to see what we call the table. Anything else that is important that we're going to add here? For login, I guess this table is the only table that we need. We don't need anything else right now. Go with one table for now. So I created one table. What do I have to do next? If I run the project, will it create the database? What? No, you don't need. This will take care of it. Database serialized will take care of that. Yeah. So, will it work? We need one thing. One extra thing. One thing. No. My node module, does it have SQLite3 module inside it? No, not restart. If I restart it, it will not do, right? What will I do? npm install. Every time you add a dependency, you have to do this npm install. So it can add that SQLite module in there. Okay, remember that. A lot of people forget to do that, and then they say my SQLite is not working. What did I do wrong? Okay. So that's done. So now my SQLite is there. Now if I run it, let's see, no errors. Why am I expecting error here? Because I ran the server, right? So it probably ran app.js file. Everything is fine till now. Register. Okay, I am on that space. So nothing went wrong yet, no errors, everything looks fine. But now let's see if insert operation actually works inside my file when I post it. When I post to this particular file, console, this is, okay, I'll just keep it for now. Okay, where is that other code gone? Insert, insert, and insert, insert. Too big. This is perfect. Right? I hope so. Okay. Here. Any content type. So this is content type. It specifies the client that the content that it's getting back is JSON type. Okay, when it's getting a response. So that's why I specify content type is JSON. Serialized function. Insert into, what is the name of my table? Layer. And what are the fields that I have? Email, password. See, now you see why I wanted to have the same name, if I can copy paste. I don't know, go down and copy paste. The values, body dot user email, user pass, user team name. So I have that. I run this and then I say success. If it doesn't run, it will give me an error anyways. So there you go. So I'm going to say success. There is a db.serialize has a failure function too. Let's see. I forgot about that. db.serialize, db.serialize, parallelize. No, I don't see it. I'm not sure how do you do that. Okay, but what is the problem here? What is the problem that you see that can happen when I run this code and I enter username, password, and what is the third thing? Team name. It will insert properly. Everything will be perfectly fine. But what is the problem? What are two different? What is the error that can happen when I run this? What did we talk about? Did I even check if the email exists? No. And I'm just entering, inserting in the player. So if the same email exists, I'm kind of over making another primary key with the same name in the database, and database will take. So best part is before doing this, I should check if the email exists. That means I'll have to write a select query on the table and check if there is a row, one or more rows that have the same email. I mean, there's not possible that there's more than one row, but still. So how do I do that? Probably done that. Select star from users. No, come on.
How about we don't insert it in the database if it's not unique?
Is there a way to do that?
Like we can add unique to that, like email ID space unique.
This one,
Yes.
unique, something like that.
Yes.
Because I don't want to go and clean up the entire database again. Let me try if that works. SQL. Okay. So customers run serve these customers. This is a very complex table. Is there an easier table? It's too much stuff to enter. Think about it. This where was shippers? Okay. Insert into shippers. Uh, shipper ID, comma, shipper name, comma, phone, values. Okay. For
Last one is also
shippers. Okay. Unique constraint field. So they already add unique here.
But the Visual Schools is bad. They want that code, but they don't show separate.
But maybe they are maybe SQLite because maybe this is set up as what is it called a primary key. I don't think I can run this on here. Dot tables. Can I run that? No. So SQLite is there already. Okay, let me try without this first and add two different. Then I'm gonna run just one query which will drop all the value or delete all the values. So let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, ready? Moment of register. I already have one user here. Let's enter the team name. ABC. Sign up. To That probably worked. Yes, why not sign up again? True. Oh, I guess it crashed the second time. It gave me true, but it crashed. And I have not handled probably that SQLite error. Let me try one more time. Let's see. Sign up. Yeah, it crashed again. So it is, see that unique. So since it's primary key, it is unique by default. So I don't have to specify unique. So that means I'll have to catch this error. Man, that means I'll have to do some more Google. Database dot serialize error, and this is SQLite 3.
That's why MongoDB is better.
That's true. But I always like you have to start another server, this that. I always mess up something or other while doing that. If not exists, create table, insert. Hmm, they're preparing and then they're running it. No, I don't see anything. I can probably use this. Come on, open. I guess I'll probably use database.serialize get. So he's saying that, yeah, first check if it exists. If it exists, if there's an, then only do. No, this is his problem, and he was doing it properly. Let's try primary key. 408, come out. Come out for mop. 408 needs mop.
Oh, I I think I found something different.
What did you search for?
So on the callback, like once you run any SQL query on SQLite, if you pass ERR, like if like the function, like you can catch it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the where do you add it?
So I can like yeah,
Okay.
I think that's like after like the query.
Here,
Yeah, no, after that one, like it's line number
Wait, repeat
36,
that one.
line number 36. Okay.
and you go to the end. No, line number 37 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah.
mean okay at the end of it
Yeah, and comma.
after run like is the second parameter. No,
Yes.
because the first parameter is the query.
Second parameter should be an array of the values.
Yeah, so that's that. But I can't add.
Let's wrap it inside an array. So like second part like a comma and like yeah, that should be an array. So
Array of items.
yes, and like we end with the last one, comma.
Are you
And-
sure? I hope this doesn't take it
Yes.
as one object. Okay, let's
And function.
Okay, then function error.
You put a callback. Yes, ERR.
Error.
That's
Let's try this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
False. Let's try this. Okay, let's try this and then see if it actually works so it doesn't crash. Register and ABC. Sign up. Right, crashed. This time it was totally different error. Yeah, I guess that. I mean, I know there's a callback function for error, but just the thing is, where exactly do I have to put it? See, run. Oh yeah, this is what you put everything inside an array, but that didn't work.
What about if it's like successfully?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to know the syntax of how to add it. See, if you see here, most like the select has this function error rows. Oh, wait 1 second. The thing that you saw, Ankit,
Yes, sir.
was it dot run?
Yeah, it was on dot run. I'm trying to find it.
Maybe I thought it was something else. Maybe database dot prepare.
Also, DB was run.
Oh, I mean, I guess like there is a different way like someone else is doing, just wrapping it around the try-catch. I mean, you could also probably do that.
So did you catch the error before you?
I mean, one thing that I can do is I can always do select star and then find it. But there is a way you can actually. I mean, whatever we did here, there is a way of doing this. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is that signature for that particular function db.run? I should say db.run instead of db.
Maybe it's because we are like it's a callback for a serialized. I don't know. Like,
See, this is what you see. Like this guy had ID and user, and then function error. So he's saying that regardless of the wrong or right input, too much stuff to read. So SQL function error.
So take your look for error before. I mean, if it's an error, throw the error.
I mean, I have one really fancy way we could try to do it. Like,
What is that?
like on line number 34, we would do try.
On line number?
34.
Oh, I don't want to try.
Try that.
Let me try this. Let me try this. Without
So
the.
they say here, too. When you say if it's an error, then you throw the error. So it's like that.
Yeah, instead of crashing the server.
Or else it would complete that.
True. Okay, it crashed. And this time it was can't set headers after they're sent. Oh, some different error. Maybe it was working previously too. Can't set headers after they're sent.
Okay, DB,
Uh-huh.
try it. Okay, so do DB.
Oh yeah, I see what is the problem here. You see this? If I should say
But you will not close it. I
We-
think we close it. Huh?
we close this one, we never close this one because I'm sending it first and then I'm sending it again. So that's why. Okay, let me just comment this out. So there's only one problem. So I'm sending this to, and after this is done, it's trying to send again the failure. So that's why I guess it was causing problem. I didn't read the error. Should have done that at the first place. Sign up, false. Perfect, and it will not crash. So the mistake was I was sending it first, this error, and then I'm sending it again.
You said it's DB already.
Wait, can I see?
So-
Where do we close that function?
No, so this is what I have to do. If error,
Oh yeah, then you do.
then do this.
Well, they said
Else?
you do that before the run, though.
No, not before.
Yeah.
You have to run it first, and then that's when you get like that error. Okay, so in this case, I see one problem, but let's see if that is a problem or not. True. Okay, that worked perfectly fine. Again, false.
There we
Perfect.
go.
Done. So now what? Oh, so we registered the user. Right? Now what do we do? Take them to the.
Do not make them log in.
Do not make them log in. That is one thing. Take them to the league page now. So we have a database ready. Everything is set up properly. We found out how to catch errors. And so when you do sign up, okay, when I get the response back, which is here, right? Either all good. So I can check here if response.success, I want to do this, else user already exists. So that's what I need to do. Email exists. Don't do anything. Perfect. If it doesn't, then I'll just say
Dashboard, I guess.
dashboard. No, this is dashboard is the other thing. League.
League sided or league smoke. Oh,
No, this is the league homepage. This is the main homepage, which when they log in, they'll see. This is creating a league or joining a league. So, what should I call it? Join league or create, whatever. Join create league. Let's make it. And now, inside join create league, I have to figure out that the user is logged in. First of all, that is there, but my user is already logged in. That's true, right?
So are you going to make them enter the password every time they log in, even if they're not a new user, or an existing user, they still have to do it? Like,
No, they'll have to do login. They can do login because I have
do
the
they have to enter the league password every time, even if they're an existing user?
no league password is first time when they want to join a league.
So not for
No, not every single time. Once they like log in, they'll see this page depending on if they've joined the league or not. Now the user that I have right now, if he goes to login page, he should be able to log in and he'll come to this page, welcome page. And this welcome page will show him this option, which is this one. If he presses this, there will be a button which he presses, he goes here. And here he will see the list of all the leagues that he's part of. That's what it will show. Okay. So, which part should I do next? Oh, first of all, I have to save the logged in user into local cookie or something. So I just save it in local storage. Where is it? Login. If it's success, then here is where I'll say, what will I say? Actually, let's do this. Create a function, save user, username, because I'll have to save him via login or via sign up form, right? So I'm going to create a separate function here. Save user. What's his username? Username. And how do I save it?
return or user?
No, local storage dot set, right? Something like this.
That's right.
No, just username, username. That's it. Let me just check. Set item. Set item.
How is this different from the trading?
But this is just for future access. You know, I mean, I
Why
need.
not create like a global variable?
Actually, let's do session story. How about that? As soon as he closes, he logs out. Let's say that. Set item. User username. So that's what we have. Good. Anything else that you can think of? Let's do the login form too. So when you log in, I can directly send them to. Okay, but first, maybe we'll have to do this, or should I do this? I'm so confused now.
You join create.
Which one?
Join create.
Join?
Yeah.
Oh, join create league.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I go to this page, use join create league, join create league. I have to copy even variable. Okay. Join create league. And where does it go? New file. Yes. That's one. What else? Views. New file. Dot. What is it? E? Yes. Okay, let's close register, login, package. Okay, app.js, join create league. I want somewhere to copy paste from because join create league will have two buttons and league password. That's what we want. So we said something about this red password. We need league name and league password. Oh no, league password is something that we are generating. Every time they create a league, we are generating, so it will be unique every single time. So every single league will have a unique league password.
But if they want to join the league, should people to search for a league that already exists?
No, it's not publicly available. We're not doing public leagues. Only private. Yes. You missed the design part. Okay.
If they
So
don't put these requirements,
what?
if they don't put these requirements,
Me, of course. Who else?
this
We can make.
analysis,
I mean, this is the first phase, 1.0. Okay, that's where a lot of companies actually. This is the first sprint. Let's say
We are
that.
on our first sprint.
Yeah, first sprint. Maybe in the second sprint we'll do more. So a backlog has a lot of stuff. All these things are in backlog. You know. So okay. So what now? Oh yeah, I need something to copy from. Where should I copy from? Register looks better or index? Anything. Express router slash this index becomes what? Oh, join create league. That will use this one. And what will happen here? What is inside this? Views index. Okay. So we have our complete login form here. Let's change this time because we don't want the login form. We have container. Everything else is fine. I guess we don't need the login JS for this guy. I would rather create another JS file. I don't want. Yeah, I don't want. Okay, now let's make ugly pages. That's fine. Let's make simple. I mean, not that ugly, but somewhat ugly. Let's use some form, div form. So this time we have how many buttons? One button. Actually, that's yeah. We have two buttons. One is create a league. So I'm just going to take this button, put it out here oh, inside the container, and I'm going to say create league, create league, and then I'll have a form. Not, I don't care. Maybe what should I call it? Join league, and this will have. I don't care about you. Label. I don't even need labels. Forget about labels. But that is for anyways for SR only, which means they are only for screen readers, not for. That's why you never saw them. You never saw those labels. You see, never because they're only for screen readers. So SR only. Input type email? No. Text ID is leak leak password what? No, I mean this is something that they want to enter and they want to see. No, I don't want it to be. They should be able to read it, as in when they're entering it. Usually that's what happens. You get like a unique every time you join a league, you get like a unique key. Okay, like 3784XVZ. Someone will email it to you. Oh, it's gonna come up. That's why I said we have a lot of work.
I actually wrote something recently.
Yeah, that's why I'm copy pasting something from here. Okay, what is this placeholder? Lead. I mean, you can make it password to it. It's up to you, whatever, however you want to do it. I want to create it as text so he can, as and when he's entering it, he can actually see that he's entering the right.
Like enter unique four-digit. Oh, okay. You can
No,
do the
this,
instructions.
it's all. What is it? Input type. I don't want any more input types. One more button. It's gonna say join league. This button is join league button.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just create the
What?
ID of the PTA.
Oh yeah. Let's do that. Okay. All good? Will this work? Let's see. There you go. Works. Perfect. Awesome. Just that there's no styles added here. That's why it looks pretty good. Yeah, look, it's mobile. It's what is it called? It's responsive. That's all we care about. What?
Ice cream stick.
You mean
Oh, yeah,
Android?
that's right.
Okay. Create league, join league. When I say join league, I need to add my password here and then say join. Create, join. Okay, let's just work on create first.
I think you have spelled under Chrome, you have spelled league incorrectly. It's LEGE.
I told him already.
No, I was making a joke, that's fine.
Man, I don't know how many places I've named it. Okay, so what next?
So, functionality for create league, I guess. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to.
Oh man, too much work.
I mean, I guess we
Well,
could
there's a
use
happy
the.
method again. If you do not hide the jump
Which one?
the jQuery, if you don't want
That's
to
too much work.
not hide that.
For what?
Or if you don't create anything,
Oh, you don't just.
not hide that.
That's yeah, that will be better, but then your JavaScript will be pretty massive for that
Yeah.
particular thing. Thinking, what is the easy way of doing it? Should I cut down to two teams? No,
Yeah, I mean,
no, that's fine. That's too much
See,
then.
creatively could be pretty similar to what you have for sign up, right?
Hmm.
Like the fields.
Let me think about it. I want to do some major functionality because now you know what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to create one more form, and when user enters it, creates it, it goes going to go to database and enter in the database, and then come out, and then the only thing that is unique in this case is when you say create, it will also insert a password, which it will create randomly, and then add it. I'll create a random ID based on time.
and
That's what.
what I did, and what I also, I told, like, I did something similar.
Mhm.
Like, what I did was I did a bar equals something equals to A to Z, 0 to 9, and I did a math random to get an index between A to Z, like between
But then you
96
might have
and
like sometimes the random numbers might get you the same number, right?
You get like
I mean, not
Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create auto increment number field. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every
Oh.
time someone creates a league, the
I
see
mean,
there you
yeah.
go. Don't have to think of it that much, right?
Yeah.
But there are, I mean, there's a module, node module, which node module for UDID, unique, no, UID, UIID.
So
I am
I've
confused.
never played League before, but from what I see, there won't be too many back and forths from front end to back end. Am I right? Like, once you load the data, like, it's just gonna be manipulation from the front end side.
Yeah, just changing stuff from front end. So you see this one. This one I guess creates a. No, this is for getting the device. What is it called? UUID. UUID. Yeah, unique universal unique identifier. There is a library for that. What it does is this will create a unique identifier for every single time you access it.
See, MongoDB
It's
comes
Lot
with
of
that
them.
by default.
Oh yeah, that does it. It has an object for every single field that you add.
so JavaScript.
But that's what you say auto increment, right? What?
How to generate the value.
Which one?
It's not from
Oh. So yeah, this is the entire node UID. But I guess this is
Oh,
for
it's
the
a,
entire
that's
sum.
too big.
Yeah,
I
that's too
mean,
big. I mean, yeah, I don't care about that. Right now, all I care about auto increment. That's what we will do. I'll create a field in the database, auto increment L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll create that, and we'll have that password displayed here. So there's nothing special to do in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this myself and then show it to you tomorrow. Okay, that's what I'll do. But we'll focus on something more important, which is I'll try to see if I can do some stuff. It's shared on Dropbox, so you guys can also play with it, try to do a little bit more with it. But I can show what you wanted to see.
yeah.
You know how to add this. Now we have this app for website, but we want to see how to do it for Android and iOS too. How to include this app inside Android and iOS. That's there is. I should show Webby. Webby is easiest.
Is it Cordova or something? I've heard about it.
Whatever
But
is the hybrid.
Yeah, Cordova you can do hybrid, but again in Cordova you'll have to add all the HTML pages inside your www folder.
yeah.
Okay, and then you'll have to give relative links. So like how you have views here, I'll have to add all these files in my what is it? All the HTML files, make them completely static and add them in Cordova folder,
Yeah.
and Node will be running on the server. So you have two different. The best way to do in this case, I guess, is using a web view. That's what we can do. Right. I'll show you both of them anyways. I'll show you both options, but I'm not gonna copy paste these files in there because you need Node to Express to kind of understand all these files.
So does using a web view instead, for this case we need connection to a database, right? But does normally using a, so it does serve static files as well, like when you wrap it with something.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does. Okay, let me get some water. 5 minutes break, and then we'll come back and do the other part.
It's a lot. क्यों Snapchat on electricity. Who's on the Saturday story also? You don't know. I need to look for Amazon. Yeah, Booty also. You really listen. What is it? Get it? What is it? Like so दिन खाए एक सौ में तो नहीं सो रहा है इतना ही नहीं पूरा कर रहे थे probably like 30 something tomorrow बोलो फिर मैं लगता है वो मेरे पास नहीं पानी नहीं बंद हो गया पति का होगा अच्छा call the restaurant and so that they do and then tell any money once I go to the once okay now yeah awesome Continuous the rest.
Maybe you can apply for H1 and then green card. Once you get your green card, you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
So that's the best part.
But I mean, I would wish like 3 years not being a well. It's about time also, right? Like,
See, in masters, you'll not learn anything. You'll learn much more in job, but
I want to go for my PhD also.
oh
So-
man, that's too much you're talking about.
No, I
Too
am
much
gonna,
commitment.
Like, I am gonna go for my PhD. That much I know. But it's just like how I go and I do what I
It's always a good idea to have like good experience before you apply for PhD,
Yeah.
because when you go for PhD with, and don't apply for masters if you're planning to do PhD.
Masters.
Directly do master/PhD. So that way you don't have to pay any fees,
Yeah.
because PhDs are mostly completely funded. But it's a lot of
No.
effort.
Lot of work and effort.
Yeah.
But what else? Like like it's fun. I think so. Might as well like, get a PhD and
Get a PhD. Yeah. Okay, so what should we look at? I'll see if I work on any of these today, but let's go back and we close all these things. These. So, okay, one more thing that is pretty awesome is I spoke about it before, but Cloud9.
oh yeah, I love it. Well,
Mhm.
not I don't love it, but it's good.
So you can create an account on Cloud9, and you know how I am running localhost, right? Right now, localhost 3000. So I can see this page. If you want to see this page on your computer, what you have to do is open one more. You guys can actually enter this URL address, or I always get lost in these. Or better is go here and network. Okay, this is my. If you enter this URL on your computer, try what do you see? Check it out. 192.168.1.209. You see it? I see like a bunch of people logging in into my making requests. I see what you're doing.
We're gonna hack you.
It's okay. Nothing special in here. I can always press Control C here and then close my server. But yeah, so the thing is, you can actually access this from the local network, because I am hosting my server on this particular network, right? But if you want to access it from home, you probably can't be able to do that, right? Because we will be on different networks. So if you want to see or show your work to some other people, this is a pretty good Cloud9. You can actually create a project here. Should I create one just to show you? Okay, let me sign in. I can say create a new workspace. I can give a name to my project. My awesome project. Whatever name. Description. Public. Choose a template. Node.js. Create workspace. It's gonna take some time. And it'll create a workspace for me. And it'll create my own server. And then you can, as long as I have it open on my computer here.
So is this like a VM or?
No, what they do is they have their own server somewhere, right?
Okay.
So they are hosting your website there. So if I start my server here, let's say open. How do I np? Should I say node server? So if you see, how I ran my server on my local machine, node, and I gave my server dot suggest. So now it's running. My server is running. So my project name is what?
My awesome project.
I guess I can just do preview. So this one. So if you open this, you can actually see this particular, they have a chat example over there, that the project that they automatically created for you, and that project will be running on your computer. If you want to try it out here, grab chat, click on this link, and then you'll come to this page, and we can actually chat here. So if you click on it and you come there, enter your name and you say send, you'll probably be one more person joined. Oh, Aradhana is in there. Came in. See, she said yo. So you see, so it's a server that is running, which is accessible. This is similar to what I did here, but instead of hosting it on this local network, now anyone anywhere in the world can enter this URL and access my. So it's giving me a hosting space where I can host my node projects, and then anybody can access it. So yeah, so this is something. If you have a really good project and you want to host it, other people to see it. If I want to host my project that I have, I can actually copy all my files and go here, upload my files here, and do the same thing and change this package file to the package that I have and add all my files inside this. I can actually run the project that I have, which will be available to everyone.
So you're like your own domain.
Oh, you can actually, if you have your own domain and your own hosting, what you can do is you can actually run node over there, and then your server will be running constantly. Like where I'm hosting my website doesn't support node. You have to buy something else my domain. The servers that I have is only let me run PHP.
It doesn't give you your own operating system.
Doesn't give me my own it's a shared thing.
Wait, so does this keep running 24/7?
No, if as soon as I close this, it will close. If I keep this open, it will be open. So it's free service. If you pay for it, they will run it constantly. And I don't think it's that expensive.
The one I'm using gives my own operating system, and I can install like 3 or 4
whatever you want.
Processes. It's from Digital Ocean.
Digital Ocean. How much do you pay for it?
I pay like $5 a month, and I get 10 gigabytes of SSD, and it's really good.
Okay. So you see, if you ever have to do something live, you can always create it and then have it available for people to do that. So this is something that is very awesome for testing, your environment on a real time and showing to people. Never know what it might be helpful for. So that's something that I've used. It's awesome that Amazon actually bought it recently. So now it belongs to Amazon. And yeah, so that's one thing that I wanted to show you guys. It does the same thing. It's same as they have installed Node on their server. You can add your files, do whatever you want to do in there. I created a bunch of different projects here. Where is it? Here. I had created some run for president, which was no. I don't think this one is completely done. I had some errors in there. So CN provides everyone we need workspace after a while. Premium plans offer, so you have premium. I don't think this one has anything in it. I'm not sure how much I worked on it because remember when did we work on this project? 7 months back. Yeah. Some I don't even remember what I had. I tried to do it using Angular and PHP, and this was Angular and PHP. Run for president.online. Where's Aradhana? Yeah, there you go. Aradhana is there.
Books. You had 1,000.
What?
I had 1,000.
Oh yeah, I reset it, right? I play with it. I can always change. I am the admin, and I can change votes. Anyway, so yeah, so this was a project that we were working on before, just for fun. Something that we did today. Pick him, something. So this project, okay. Now any project that you build, you want to make an hybrid app out of it. So in the start, story time. Ready for story? Okay. When I started doing, like when I started working on web initially, like first I was a web developer. Right in 2006 to 2009, I was doing completely web development. 2009 is when I went into mobile because it was getting so popular. So that time I was trying to make applications, but Objective C, Java, all this was way too complicated for me. Being from web background, going into Java programming, backend, all that stuff was really horrible. There is very, for me, I would not get any satisfaction working on backend projects because, as I always say, backend project is something that people don't see. Okay, it's the front end that people actually see. I like when people look at my work and say, "Oh, this is a pretty awesome website. This is a pretty awesome app." But with backend people, what happens is they just have code, which does some stuff in the backend. Nobody sees what they do. Okay, they might be the most important part in an application because without backend, there's no and front end is pretty much static, right? So without backend, there is no front end. You have to work like crazy just to have a simple login authentication process, right? So I like to keep that work with the backend people, and I really respect backend people, but no appreciation from the customers. That's how it is. So I wanted to do mobile apps, but I did not understand the coding. The syntax was very difficult. Objective C was crazy, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I can't do Objective C. I had some ideas in the start, which I guess some of you know. One of my first idea, which actually I wanted to make an app, but I was not able to because I was technically challenged person. I was not like, what the hell? How do I implement it? And it was a very simple project. I think you know about the project, right? So then someone actually made that project, and he made that app, mobile app, and it was no backend, just front end app. Okay, just UI stuff in there. The idea was very easy, and this some guy he made it and he published it for 99 cents. First day he got 40,000 downloads, so which means he made $40,000 in first day. Okay, he made almost $3-4 million in the life of that application. So I was like, I had this idea 6 months back. If I had worked a little bit, I could have made this app and I would be the person who made that millions of dollars or something like that. So 6 months I didn't do anything because I was not able to understand anything. I told my friend who knew a lot about Objective C, I told him, why don't you implement this idea? And I can see how it's done. So sit with me. He's like, no, I have other ideas which I'm working on, which are very important. And then when I showed him what happened after 6 months, he was like, oh man, I should have listened to you. But that is all gone. So then I got really serious and started working more hard and then trying to implement those projects. But still, it was very difficult because back in the days there was no support, no Stack Overflow, no GitHub, no projects that are available, no tutorials, no training. Udemy didn't even exist. Udemy, Udacity, or whatever tools that you guys have these days. There was nothing like that. There was only YouTube, and YouTube didn't help that much either, because people who were making iPhone apps, they didn't wanted to share their code, right? Because they wanted to make those millions of dollars and didn't want to share it. So then what I did was, I'm like, only if I can work enough on an iOS app where I can open a web component and then display a web page on top of it, that would actually solve my problem, because I can just have JavaScript added on top of it. So I had some apps. I guess some people are already. Hmm. Yeah, so I had some like card game app or something that I kind of converted into a more of a mobile friendly website, and then I used, I think, jQuery UI and all that stuff to make it more cool. But then my problem was, how do I make this into an app? Okay, so users can go here, like on their device, just run the simulator. Okay. Can I copy paste? Let's see. Copy. So users can go to this particular website. Come on, paste. Show me. Show me paste. Edit. Paste. Doesn't work. Slash. What was the entire URL? What? So see, you can go to this page like this, and then you can say, okay, I want to play blackjack. You see that effect is not there here, because that jQuery mobile, not jQuery, yeah, jQuery mobile, which had like all these animations. So I was learning, I was trying to do more on that, and then that time it was 320 by 480. So that's why you see the white space here on the right. But let's say I want to bet 2000. No, no hit. 13. Again 13. Are you sure? 22, yes. Even 2000. So I made money. Okay, so this is how asked for one more card, I would got the jack, and I would be busted. So this was how I made my game, but I did not know how to, like, if you see here, the problem is they have to go to a URL and open it, and they have all these icons. But I don't want that. I wanted an app which they can just click on it, and the app was there. There was nothing top, no address bar. They could just install the app from the app store, and it's there. So that's what I wanted. So what I did was, I did some Google, of course, as usual. Google was still there, and then I made an let's create Objective C web app, and I created this, and I went to the. So they have this storyboard thing in iOS where you can actually add whatever. Let's say I'm just gonna say 5. So this is targeting a particular phone, and they had something called as a web view. So I used this web view component, added it over there. So I followed this tutorial. It said that do this, make. So there's something called as, this is the code part. This is the, if I run this, what will happen is I'll see a web view added on top, which is an empty web view with nothing on it. So it's like a browser which has nothing on it. And then inside my, I'll have to make a variable that points to that web view. So I created that, called it web view. And then in view did load, this is what is called, as soon as this particular view controller or this particular page loads on the mobile phone. And in here, all I had to do was write one line saying self.webview. This web view that I have, I want to load a request, which was NS URL. I mean, this is all that I copy pasted. from only one line of code, and it's URL with string, and I had to give this. I think I copied it. Okay. Right, so I give that URL. That's all I had to do, and it would work perfectly. Now in iOS 8, 9, iOS 8 they made one change where I have to add, if I'm doing internet request, I have to do one thing extra. This was not there before. Just one field that I have to add in the. This is like package.json, which we had in Node, and just by doing that, you see that entire. Now they actually, before the app used to start from here, like here. Now they started all the way from the top, so that's why it doesn't look as pretty. Before it used to look something like this. Okay, in iOS, what was it? iOS 3, I think. Not even 4, or maybe 2, maybe. Who knows? This was 2009 when iOS was pretty new. And then when you click on it, it had everything worked perfectly, and it also made an icon for that app. All I have to do was provide an image for this. You can add image inside this particular app icon. Just drag and drop an image, and it will create a icon here. And when you click on this icon, you have this. So that's how I was able to do 30, 40 apps in a month and then publish it in App Store, because I knew JavaScript, HTML, CSS. All I had to do is make them smaller website, and then it worked magically.
So would you be able to access the data, like you place something on the bed, right? And would you be able to access that from the header file, the C file?
Which one? Oh, here?
Yeah.
Information, and you want to kind of look at that whatever user entered in there. Yeah, you can actually, because then you have to add, like, there is another JavaScript class file or a function that, okay, it's very JavaScript to Objective-C. So there is this one JavaScript to Objective-C bridge where you can just say like JavaScript context, and then you can evaluate a particular string, or you can pass and get values from each other. You can, like, from JavaScript send a file to this particular C code, and from C send to JavaScript. So that was all possible. That's all possible in there.
So, but if you wanted some interaction with database, how would you handle it, from C or from Java?
No, I mean, because this is a web view, right, and it can have its own SQLite database, so you can specify all those stuff over there, or you can you'll have to write some, like, if you want to use the native SQLite, okay, the iPhone SQLite, you'll have to write this type of code where you can do that. So let me continue the story where it becomes more fun. Okay, where all your questions will be answered. So I did this. I was pretty happy with this, and everything was working pretty very well, good for me. 40, 50,000 a month was a good amount of money that I made from those apps in the start. But then it became a little bit more, what do you call it? That's like, I think 2010 or sometime late 2010, that's when competition increased. All the big players came into making apps, making mobile apps. What is it? Zynga, Glue, Facebook. They all started making apps of their own. They had teams of people who would work on these apps. So I started going to my friends. Come on, guys, we need to do this. I used to show them, look at this. This is how much I made last month. Are you interested in making mobile apps? They were like, yes, yes. Okay, they would install Xcode on their Mac. After that, after next week, I go there. He's like, forget about it, man. I'm too busy. I'm like, what? Drinking, party, all that stuff. So I didn't find the right bunch of people. So then I realized that I should actually go on the other side, go to the dark side and work with companies where I can actually learn more and do something in Objective-C. So that's when I went into Objective-C. But during the same time, there was these guys, Punga people. They came up with something that I did, something similar. They opened a web view, and then they created a framework which you can actually install and make. Just focus on the website, and they will do, like, whatever code I wrote here in this file. They did took care of everything. And then they made plugins, JavaScript plugins, which would actually communicate with Objective-C. So they wrote the Objective-C code and they gave you handles in JavaScript. So you can just communicate from JavaScript to Objective-C. So they provided a lot of plugins which can get like, device location. You can get access to users' contacts. You can get access to SQLite database. You can do everything that a native developer can do. So they kind of killed a lot of Objective-C apps because all the web developers, because there are a lot of web developers as compared to Objective-C developers. Again, this word, there are a lot of UI developers. Everybody knows how to do HTML, JavaScript, CSS. Nowadays, I know some people who are like 5th grade and 6th grade, they have their own websites. UI is growing quite a lot. Everybody knows how to do JavaScript. Is the most simplest programming language. Everybody knows how to do JavaScript. So that's why it became more prominent. PhoneGap became very big, and anything that becomes big gets bought out. Who bought PhoneGap? Any idea? Adobe. Oh, good point. Man, you don't say that, okay? You just say Adobe, and then you should say, "Oh, thank you, Vivian." I know. Yeah. I know. Where is it? Exactly. But PhoneGap people didn't want it to go corporate. Meaning, you saw my requirements, right? I can do whatever I want. Okay, I don't give a shit about what the user thinks or what the other guys think. So when you work for a corporate, what happens is whatever you do is managed by the corporate. They say that I want this properly done. I want to write unit test for this. I want to write, I don't know, every single validation should be there. That's what they say. That's what PhoneGap people didn't like. Okay, they said that you can actually buy us, but we will still be working on our platform and we will be doing our own builds whenever we want. So they were producing software, right? PhoneGap, that was their product. So Adobe said, okay, we'll not touch your product, but we'll have a team, our own team, which will take your code and will add more tests and all that stuff. And if there's any problems that we see, you guys have to fix it, something like that. So they Cordova. That's what they call it, Cordova. Now, the difference between PhoneGap and Cordova is same as the difference between Chrome and Chrome Canary, right? The difference is Chrome is completely tested browser. Canary is something that is a nightly release, which means if they did something, added a feature, that feature is available to you right now, right? So PhoneGap, whatever features they added yesterday, you can have it today, something like that. With Cordova, if they added a feature, the feature will be available after 6 months or so, because the feature is ready, but they have to do testing, they have to make sure everything is done properly, all the requirements are met, what not. Yeah, so you can say this is more like a beta version, this is more like a stable version. Cordova is more stable, PhoneGap might not be. So
Is Chrome open source?
which one?
Is Google Chrome open source? Or is
I don't think so. No, I don't think both of them are probably not open source, but you can make plugins for them, right?
Yeah.
So that's what is open. You can make apps for them, but you can't actually write your own code for them. So yeah, so this is how PhoneGap and Cordova works. So who uses PhoneGap and who uses Cordova? PhoneGap is used by independent developers because they don't give a shit of what user thinks, right? They want to make some apps, they'll make the app the way they want it, and they have much better platform because they have advanced stuff added on their PhoneGap app. Cordova is mostly used by organizations, companies, and stuff because organizations don't want problems from their clients coming in. They want stable release. So that's what is used by Cordova. Both of them are exactly same. They run the same way, but they help you make hybrid apps pretty much. So for example, let's start with look at this, what they use. NPM. Everyone uses NPM. So I want to install Cordova on so it used to be totally different back in the days. In 2010, 2011, it was totally different. You had to download something, add it to your project, that, installation process, and you would break somewhere or other. Every time you install a software, what happens? Something or other is broken here, there, you get errors. And so NPM actually removes all that problem because it will install on the kernel level and make sure there's no problems. So let me close the server here. Which folder am I? D dot server liberty classes. Okay, this is better. Open dot. So I'm in this folder. I'm going to create a new one. Call it say Cordova. Go inside that, and inside this I'm gonna. I already have Cordova installed. That doesn't matter. What is missing?
Sudo.
Okay, come on. Okay, it's installing. Probably something new, something changed, who knows? Or maybe just the size of the file. So with this, what will happen is you don't even have to open Xcode or Android Studio or anything for making Android and iOS apps. The way I did iOS app, I just showed you. Similarly, you can do that in Android too. You can just add a web view and then give a URL and it will work perfectly. Okay, done. Clear this out to next graph. That's first step. Then it says Cordova create the app. So I'm saying Cordova create name of the app that you want to get. So my app should create app. Let's see how does this look like. If you see my app, it has a config XML file which will tell me all the different I mean this is more like package file for the package.json. It tells you name of the project, description of the project, bunch of different stuff. Also, if you have to add some more plugins and stuff, plugins are added when you want to access more of the device's features. That's what it is. I have a hooks folder, platform folder, plugin folder, www. This is your folder. I mean, if you're a UI person, this is your folder, www. Anything that you do will be added here. Now, what about the other ones? Other ones, you don't have to worry about them. The only thing that you have to worry about is what platform do you want to support? Okay, for example, I want to make a. Okay, let's first follow these steps. Am I inside the folder? CD, my app. I have these folders. Inside this, you can say that I want to add a particular platform. iOS, Android, BlackBerry, whatever. Say iOS. It will. If you look at the platforms now, it added something. You see this? It created a Xcode project in here. I can actually open this Xcode project and then look at it and run it from here if I want to, but you don't have to. Okay, let's say you're a UI developer and you don't know anything about iOS. You don't know what file to open here. Okay, so you can still go back, follow the next step, Cordova run iOS. When you say run, what it does is it will take all the WW files from here, and whichever platform you say, it will go there and copy that file into this www file, build a project, make an application, and install it on your simulator. Let's see if it works. So it's going to show a lot of crap here because this is what happens when an iOS application actually builds. You never see this. I mean, there are some iOS developers here. You'll never see this when you're actually creating a build, but this is what actually happens in the background. Okay, done. No target specified for deploying 0.3, and if you see it, the app is installed and it's running here. Right, one more time. Fill this app. That was not open. So just export. You don't need to export anymore. It is okay. Let's try one more time. Let's keep this next to us. And this is it. Installs, runs everything for it. So this is how it actually manages everything for you. If you have an Android simulator, you can open Android simulator, run it. Now this thing will not work on Windows. It will only run on Mac. I mean, when I say iOS, it will only run on Mac. Windows, it will not work because you can't install iOS on Windows, right? But you can install Android tools and stuff. Now, how do you?
Because I feel like earlier, before we started the field,
Mhm.
if we forgot to choose that individually, just out of run through
No, those are for screen readers. This is not a screen reader. Yeah. Mhm.
the There's
Mm.
no compatible.
Right.
With those photos are automatically
No, what Cordova does is it just creates a web view and loads the web page on it.
exactly what you have.
Exactly what I had before. So this
Oh,
project, what we did, is exactly what I had before. Now I can go here. Where is my? So this is the only folder that you would probably, if you are a Cordova developer, you'll be only working on this particular project. Now this has a bunch of stuff here. I remove everything. Hello world. Save. Go back. I know this is a very complex project. There we go. Run it. And it's gonna restart that app and it will display that. Hello. So whatever the HTML you add in there will be displayed over there. It will be part of the project. Everything will be working perfectly. So you're doing all your HTML here. So all your web pages will be added here. Now, if you're communicating with any server or something, you'll have to add those everything as you're doing web page. And think of as if you're doing a web page, you probably add all your web pages in here, and that will work perfectly for you. Now, okay, so now same thing. Android is process is same. Now, what if I want to see something like, let's say, users GPS coordinates. Okay, now I know that I can do that using HTML. HTML has that geolocation navigator dot geolocation, all that stuff. But what if I don't want to use the HTML5 geolocation? I want to use the devices core location, like the iOS and Android apps have their own what is it called, GPS systems. I want to access that. Okay, so then I'll have to add a plugin to it. Wait, let's see, how do I add a plugin? Add a plugin. Now they have made it much easier for you to. Oh, you want to add a camera? You can add camera too. So they have made it so much easier for you, just because they want you to use this. They want web developers to make more apps than iOS and Android people. So they're just killing iOS and Android people. That's what they're doing. Because you know why they're doing that. Any idea?
nobody.
No, they took all, like, let's say if you're a UI person, iOS and Android people took all your money. That's what happened. You know what? You know how you get paid? How Who decides your salary? Depending on how good the technology is, right? Let's say in 19, remember that 2000 .com boom or 1998 .com boom, whenever that happened, a lot of web people became web developers because there was this, everybody wanted .com domains and all that stuff, and wanted websites and all that stuff. Developers were charging like 200, 300,000 a year and stuff for people. So that's what happened. Slowly it went down. So then developers were making, like, let's say 100,000 a year, then 80,000. Then mobile became popular. No, web developer, oh, 60,000. I'm not paying you more than that. I can have a web developer for 40,000 because you are not getting jobs, because everybody wants to make mobile apps now, right? So then mobile apps became very popular. If you have, as I told you before, or if you have heard of that before from me, when we were doing training in 2011, 2012, when iOS developers were trained here, we used to do 2 3 weeks training, and then when they went to job, went for interview, they would ask, "Have you made any apps?" They're like, "Yes, this is my app." Okay, you're hired. No technical questions because nobody knew anything how to do it, right? So that's how easy it was to get jobs. Okay, so that's when I remember my interview. My interview with Washington Post was, I think, 2012 or 13, when they asked me, "Oh, what would you use for, like, drawing all the UI elements? Which framework will you use?" I'd say UI Kit. They're like, "How about maps? If you want to display maps?" I say, "Map Kit." Then there's like, "What about if you want to access databases or create data?" I say, "Core Data." It's like, how about if you want to add, like, some secure features to your app, security kit? Then they were like, okay, more complex question. What if you want to do in-app purchases and if you want to buy something? I was like, purchases? Come on, what is the framework for in-app purchases? Store kit. Okay, that's the frame. I said, store kit? They're like, "Oh, you know everything. You're hired." Something. That's how my interview was. They just asked me, like, which frameworks would you use. That's.
It was so hard, right?
I know it was like so difficult to, like, remember all these frameworks. So That's how easy the interview was. Me, uh, this guy asked me that, okay, I have a array of numbers, okay, and I want to, and they have repetitive numbers in there, and I want to create an array which has unique, I mean, it doesn't have any repetitive numbers. What would you do? I said, I just create a NS set and then add all the items in there, and it will ignore the repetitive numbers. Like, oh, that's awesome, genius. So I said that those are the features that already come with iOS already. Why would I want to write logic for it? That's what I told him, because he was expecting logic. He was like, oh, write a for loop and go through the numbers and what is the best case. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do all that stuff. There's already available items. I can do it. If I want to replace a string, I can use the replace string with occurrences or whatever. So there were all these functions available. So I told them about it. They're like, okay, you are the thing. The only problem was with Washington Post interview was I went with like on shorts and flip flops. Okay, because I used to work for a startup company, and a startup company everything was relaxed, and they said, "Oh, can you come for interview at 2 o'clock?" I said, "Sure, why not?" I was 2 blocks away from Washington Post. I just walked in there in shorts and flip flops. I went to the front desk, and they're like, "Who are you here for?" And to meet. I'm like, "This guy, I'm here for interview." The person itself is like, "Are you serious?" So the developer actually took me in. He asked me questions, and after that, he said that you have to go home because I know that you're really good with iOS, but if I present you like this to our to a manager, he'll probably not hire you. So why don't we reschedule your next round for next week? I'm like, sure, no problem. So I had to go home and wear a suit and come back. Yes. But that was just for the interview. During work you can still wear shorts and flip flops. That's fine because uh, Washington Post had very relaxed environment. But yeah, during interview you have to be presentable. That's one thing that they want. So yeah, so that's why did I get there? Why did I go there? What was the topic in hand? Oh yeah, so Android and iOS people were getting paid quite a lot of money. So when PhoneGap came in, and that's when hybrid app became more popular. People wanted to make hybrid apps. Everybody wanted to do kind of the reason they wanted to do hybrid apps was I have to, as a company, I'll have to hire one iOS person, one Android person to do two apps. And now hybrid person can make both these apps by himself. And they don't even charge more. Why? Because they were getting paid 60,000. I can pay them 80,000 and hire them to make both the apps. And iOS, Android, I'll have to pay them 150 each. So I am spending more money. So that's when hybrid apps became very popular.
Why do you even have iOS? No defense. Why do you even have iOS and Android developers?
Because the way you sell it, actually,
What are the cons, though, for
no, see that I mean there are no cons for it. You can do everything that you can do with in iOS and Android app using just hybrid, completely hybrid. You can go completely hybrid. But the thing is, there are so many fake developers. They don't know anything. Okay, so what happens is when they go to a job and they make an application, it looks really crappy. The interface is really bad. They don't take into consideration all the different things, all the different issues that are there. So they are not that good with that. So what happens with iOS and Android guys? They say that, oh, look at this app. This is so crappy. When you scroll around, when you move your mouse here, it goes up and down. Why is it doing that? It should be pretty static because there's only one thing over there. Why is it scrolling? That's something that WebView has. You can disable that. It's like one line of code. But the thing is, these guys, they build such horrible apps. Like, Facebook itself first version of Facebook was a hybrid app because they had an idea of like, let's make one app and then use it everywhere. But the app was so horrible. It was built so horribly. It was not designed properly. There were so many issues with that. The buttons looked horrible. And then especially with Android, iOS was pretty good with most of the apps because iOS is only one platform. With Android, there are so many different devices available out there. If it looks fine in Samsung Galaxy phone, it will look really crappy in HTC. Or maybe some phone that someone is using, which someone bought for like $100 off eBay and is not working fine. They would like, oh, this is pretty horrible. Now, Android developer might not do anything better. They would also do, but they would blame the hybrid guys as saying that, oh, when you make hybrid app, it doesn't look as efficient as. But if you look at Financial Times, their app, their web app. It's like this was built in. I mean, the one that I remember was built in 2011. FT.com, and their app actually looked so amazing. Like their this is their mobile web app. Okay, this is not even their mobile app. This is their mobile web app, and it looks so amazing. It has such good interface. It has features that makes it look like a native app. Okay, they made it so good that this became a standard to show people this is what we need to do. All the different agencies were like, this is what we need to do. This is how apps should look like. So that's something that kind of made a lot of people believe that we can still make hybrid apps better, but it's just the devices that cause problems. So it's just like blame game pretty much. You can make any app and hybrid app and then it will work perfectly fine. I mean, this is one example that I can give you. I mean, even Facebook works pretty awesome online version, but just the fact that you had to support so many different devices, that caused problem. Now that problem is still there in iOS and Android apps, but at least there are less problems as compared to what you do in hybrid. In JavaScript, you have to do a lot of work to get the same functionality. So if you're making a very simple app, okay, which just shows data and then you can go a hybrid approach. Okay, if you're making a Financial Times app, but if you're making a game, okay, I have seen some people who have made really good game in JavaScript and imported it into a hybrid app and then built it. I went to this JS Conf, which is by O'Reilly in San Francisco, and I saw like people actually. That's when I realized, oh, okay, I'm in the wrong field. I should not be doing iOS or Android. I should be doing more in UI side. So that because I saw people using Bootstrap, people using. I mean, that's when I actually met the guy who made Angular, and he was like, would you like to come to my conference? I have this Angular, we are kind of coming out with this new tool called as Angular framework. It will help people. We have drinks, we have food. And then there was other side, the people with jQuery mobile. They're like, oh, would you like to come here? We don't have food or drinks, but we'll show you stuff. And everybody went to jQuery mobile. Everybody said Angular is shit. There were two guys who were kind of trying to get people in and make them use Angular. But Angular was treated like, it's nothing. But now they have changed completely, right? Because they got support from Google completely. Because back in the days, they were like, how Google works is you work 4 days on your task and 1 day you get for working on your own pet projects. So these guys started Angular back then, and they wanted to make it. I mean, it was their pet project. That's how it started. That's how every project starts. That's what they say. Every project starts in the garage. So I met these guys, but they didn't look that convincing. All right. So that's the thing. That's where I should have probably taken their autograph. Oh, please. That I should like, oh, I'll come to your event. No, I didn't go to that event. I went to jQuery Mobile because they were more used. Right. That's if someone says, oh, I have my company Ogly, okay, and then someone says, oh, I have a Google event, you'll probably go to Google event. You're not going to go to this no-name person. Right. This was I think 2000. Early 2012 or late 2011, something like that, when Angular was not even officially released. So that's the thing. That's the thing about it. It's all about who uses it, how many people use it, what they do, how they do it. It's just like oil. Okay, oil is still valued so much. But you can still go with electric resources or something else, right? Why is price of oil so high even today? Because the companies that are making money from oil, they want to push that out more, right? So it all depends on how you market it, how you do your stuff. React is getting popular. Why is React getting popular? Because it's backed by Facebook, right? And it has some really good things. If you have a good product and you're backed with the right people, you'll get somewhere. If you have a good product and you don't have any backing, you'll not get anywhere. That's how it works. So PhoneGap and Cordova became more popular after it was bought by Adobe. Then actually companies started using it. They started making more apps with it. So, okay, just he's running an Android app here. Cordova plugin, search camera. You can actually add so everything that you want to add, plugins or anything, you directly add it from the command prompt. And once you have that inside your HTML, CSS, you just add these these pieces of code and just call a JavaScript function. Yeah, where is the JavaScript function? Let me see if it has anything maybe better. Cordova add plugin. What plugin do you want? Location? It's called geolocation. There's a location. Let's call it geolocation. I think it's called. Yeah, this one. This is the actual documentation of that particular. So if you see here, you can just say on device ready. You are checking for. Okay, here it is. Cordova plugin add this one. This is the Cordova plugin geolocation. And once you add it, here navigator.geolocation.get current location. I'll give you current location. Let's add this stuff quickly and see it. Let's install it. Right here, Cordova. Okay, done. Next, older versions of Cordova can still, it is possible to install. Okay, no, that's one good enough. And inside my JavaScript, okay, I'll just add this code. Where is it? Where's my HTML page? Here. Oh, doesn't look like HTML. Add JavaScript. Just add it in the body. Maybe I can console. It doesn't matter. Get current location on success. I have all the different items displayed here. Alert. You can get latitude, longitude, altitude, accuracy, heading, speed. You don't get all these things from HTML5. You just get lat, long, maybe some of the features, but you'll get much more accurate locations with this. What do I do next? Run this code.
Cordova works only if you have an Apple device.
What?
The Cordova works.
No, it also works for. What do you mean Apple device?
Like you said something that it works only if you have Mac. Was this for Cordova or something else?
No, Cordova is a. Wait 1 second. Yeah, Cordova works with Apple device, Android device, any device. It's a hybrid app. It's used for any. You can create projects for anything.
On Mac, you can create Android app
And iOS app, yeah.
But on Windows, you can create only
Only Android apps, yeah. Or if you're asking that, yeah. So because you can't install the Xcode on what is it called, Windows machine. So that's why it will not work on Windows. But you can do whatever we did instead of iOS. If you replace to Android, it will actually. But you'll have to install Android development SDK first. So that's what. So if you see here, it will give me all the details. Probably it didn't get altitude properly.
So, does the plugins let you use extra like HTML elements, like tag camera? Like, is it all via JavaScript?
It's everything via JavaScript.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use anything that you want to do with JavaScript, get all the different features that they have. I mean, it will only give you features that you have. Now, if you want to add your own plugins, you can add your own plugins too. Now, for that, you'll have to understand JavaScript, plus you have to understand iOS, Android, everything. So that's because these guys who build Cordova and PhoneGap, they are actually iOS and Android developers who wanted to make something for web developers. They are the guys who wanted to make sure that web developers also make some money, while iOS and Android guys. So all the iOS and Android guys hated them. Like, why the hell would you have to make that?
But I would imagine you would get a tighter control from if you were doing like from iOS instead of using hybrid.
Which one? What?
You would get a tighter control of like what exactly is happening in the app, and if it was a big scale app, say there's a lot of traffic, like you would want to use
Native?
yeah.
No, you would still use. You can still use HTML, JavaScript, and stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like if you get a lot of traffic, it just. I mean, with mobile devices, it if you want to make a very complex app, hybrid app, sorry, native app. Let's say if you want to make a very complex iOS native app, and you're doing a lot of stuff in your app, you'll still have problems. Right? The only problem that you can have going hybrid is supporting multiple devices. That's where you'll have problem, and that problem also exists when you're doing native anyways. So, but you get more problems because you are supposed to support a much more wider range of variety of items. Yes, that's what it is.
How do you deal with multi-threading? Do you implement multi-threading in the pages?
Yeah, in web pages itself, you'll do everything. So you can do it in web pages because you don't. I mean, because you don't want to do anything in iOS or Android side. So everything is managed in iOS itself, in JavaScript itself. So it's a way for JavaScript developers to make apps and try to, it's competition again. Who makes better apps? So I would never disregard a hybrid app, but I would always tell my clients that you should go with native apps because I don't want to kill my market. So, but since I know, like if I have to go interview with someone, they will ask me, okay, which platform do you prefer? I would always say depends on the requirement. Okay, what requirement you have. If you have something, because I want to see what makes. I mean, the reason I didn't like web development in 2009 and wanted to go into mobile is because that time iOS was pretty popular, first of all, right? And iOS had only one device, one size 320 by 480, okay, and it was all built by Apple, right? Nobody else was building it. And website, I had so many problems supporting Chrome, Firefox, IE8. I remember this one time I was working with something for different browsers, and everything was working perfectly fine in IE7. Okay, it was IE7 days. It was the most recent version. IE7 was working. We had this one guy who used to love technology. Okay, he was not. He didn't know anything in technology. He opened on his browser my web page, and he's like, "Oh, this is not working properly." So I asked him, "What version of IE are you using?" He said, "IE8." I'm like, "Where the hell did you get IE8 from?" He's like, "No, there is a beta version of IE8 available. I got that from there." I'm like, "Why? Who's gonna use IE8? Everybody's using IE6, and I'm supporting even for IE7. Why are you going IE8?" No, we should support everything. We should think of future and future. Like, so I was like, I really got frustrated. I'm like, no, I'm quitting this job. I'm doing iOS development. So now your problem is probably still IE8 is a problem. Why is your app not working on IE8? It's like IE9 is new.
At
So
least the iPhone 7 will have the same screen size.
oh yeah, that's what we heard. We'll come to know in 3 days,
Yep.
4 days.
Are you gonna upgrade right away?
I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm eligible for upgrade. That's why.
Oh.
Not because I like the phone or anything, but
I mean, it has a second camera and it's supposed to.
that's what you're saying. I will believe it when Apple says it on 7th. That's it. Okay, cool. It's too late. Too much work. Let's close this and we'll continue tomorrow. I'll probably try to do more things here and then show it to you tomorrow. We can go over stuff tomorrow. And make our pick him. Where are we going to eat tomorrow? No, you're cooking, man. Tomorrow. I'm going to get my lunch tomorrow.